The headline: Kevin Warsh reasserts the Federal Reserve's pledge to bring down inflation, but he says nothing about the tools the Fed will use. That was be the first congressional hearing for the new Fed chair blew doors open about the central bank's mission. Warsh told lawmakers on the House Financial Services Committee that the price surge we've seen over the last 5 years is a thing of the past if the Fed stays on track. He made it clear the Fed has a resolute commitment to restoring price stability, and he promised a right policy path so that Americans won't have to worry about ever-changing prices. Warsh's statement echoed what he said last month at the Fed's policy meeting when the bank voted unanimously to keep rates steady at 3.5% to 3.75%. That level, meanwhile, is meant to be a sign that long-term Treasury yields are lower and mortgages stay more affordable. He highlighted that if prices stay stable, there will be less noise, no more headlines about inflation spiraling. But while Warsh reaffirmed the Fed's goal, he avoided the big question: are higher rates coming? Representative French Hill, the Republican chair of the committee, pressed him on the risk of another policy misstep. Hill reminded that the Fed had once thought it could ignore rising inflation, leading to a post-pandemic surge. Warsh acknowledged the Fed could influence inflation over the long term by adjusting rates and tweaking its $6.7 trillion portfolio of bonds and mortgage-backed securities. He did not explain how he would use those tools in the coming months. The hearing coincided with the release of the June Consumer Price Index, which showed that inflation cooled as energy prices dropped after a temporary truce in the Middle East. However, that softness could be short-lived. Warsh told the panel that what mattered was the Fed's commitment, responsibility, and tools. He underlined that the Fed will not blame external factors for missing its inflation target. In sum, Warsh's testimony confirms the Fed's dedication to lowering inflation. Whether that will involve rate hikes or other maneuvers remains unclear. For now, the economy will keep watching the Fed's next move, hoping it delivers on the promise without provoking a deeper downturn. Thank you for joining today's discussion on the Fed's inflation fight. Stay tuned for more updates as Congress and the Fed continue to navigate America's economic path.